All right, guys, so let's kick it off right away with the quarterbacks. We're going to start off with Lamar Jackson here. So we know Lamar Jackson, he's had a pretty easy matchup last week. We're going to be targeting the Miami Dolphins a lot this year. But also we got the Arizona Cardinals this week for the Baltimore Ravens. Should also be a pretty easy matchup. I expect Lamar Jackson to at least go for 20 DK points in this matchup. You can stack him pretty easily in that game. It's just kind of trying to figure out which receivers to stack him with. I do like Tom Brady as well going against the Miami Dolphins. That's not going to be a bad play. Dak Prescott going against Washington, who just got tore up by Carson Wentz. I really don't mind that play. You could stack Dak with Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper. That's really not going to be too bad. Now, obviously, I don't think he's going to go off it for as much as he did last week, but I do think he'll get around 20 DK points as well. So those are three plays early on that are not too bad. But the one GPP play that I like a decent amount, given his price point, is going to be Jared Goff going against the New Orleans Saints, who, Deshaun Watson just went off against them DFS-wise. Jared Goff should be in for a better game. Obviously, Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods can catch some deep passes. You could play him with Cooper Kupp as well as a little bit of a safer play. I also do like Josh Allen a lot once again. He'll probably be my core quarterback play. Going against the New York Giants should be a pretty easy matchup for him. I really like the safety that he has with his rushing abilities. And then also, he did have about 2 turnovers last week that probably shouldn't have been turnovers. Give him a few more points there. He has a pretty solid week last week. Josh Allen's going to be a good play for us. Derek Carr is also not a bad play going against the Kansas City Chiefs, who, it's a pretty decent defense there, but I think it'll be kind of a higher scoring game. I do think the Oakland Raiders will be throwing the ball quite a bit, so that's why I like Derek Carr, and he's kind of easier to stack as well. All right, so getting to the running backs here, I do think we could play any one of these guys in the big three here. We got Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, then we also have Ezekiel Elliott. I like all three of them, quite a bit. Saquon should be a safe lock to get 20 DK points. Zeke, I don't think he'll have a touch limit or a snap count at all. So I'm really not too worried about that. He'll get involved in the pass game a little bit more. And Alvin Kamara, he's going to be the one I target the most out of those three. I do like this matchup quite a bit. And, he just has that safety net with the amount of targets that he gets. So Alvin Kamara would be the one that I would go with the most out of that big three. And I do want to mention Todd Gurley on Yahoo, just way too cheap. He should probably... He has a higher chance to score a touchdown this week. Then we got Sony Michel here. Definitely a GPP only play. Low owned GPP play there. If you're trying to stack the Patriots game with Miami, really not going to be a bad play. Miami got torched on the ground. Mark Ingram had his way with them last week, so I really don't mind Sony. Austin Eckler, I like quite a bit, especially as a cash play or GPP play. Once again, he's just going to be a nice play at that price point. With Hunter Henry out and Mike Williams out, they'll probably try to get Austin Eckler involved in the pass game even a little bit more this week. So I really don't mind him at that price point. Should be a safe and easy play. Damian Williams is another play that I like quite a bit. And he's not getting talked up a lot. I love that his price actually went down. The matchup isn't too bad as well. He got used in the passing game quite a bit. Got used on short yardage situations quite a bit as well. So that means he's the goal line back. That means he's the passing down back. Now maybe LaShawn McCoy gets 1 or 2 more touches this week, but I think they're going to try to keep McCoy fresh, and Williams will continue to be the workhorse back. Then we also have Matt Breida here, who once again I do like this week. He didn't produce for us last week, but he did have the touches. He did go to the tent last week as well, or maybe he went back to the locker room, but either way, I do like him, especially with Tevin Coleman out. He should get at least 15 touches at that price point. Not going to be a bad play. Giovanni Bernard, though, he's going to be an easy lock if Joe Mixon is out. He has averaged over 15 DK points per game in games without Joe Mixon. So that's a situational play, but if Joe Mixon's out, we're just locking him in. Then we got Tariq Cohen here, who's pretty much just a slot receiver now. Had a ton of targets last week against the Packers, and I kind of predicted that on the showdown slate for the Patreon subscribers. They got that play, but I still like him at that price point. Should be a safe kind of cash play. Not sure how much upside he has, but I don't mind that play. Devin Singletary, kind of more the same thing. Obviously, he didn't play in the slot that much, or run that. He had a ton of targets, so that's what I like about Devin Singletary. And TJ Yeldon, I thought he'd be the third down back. He wasn't, so Devin Singletary kind of seems like a safer play at that price point. Chris Thompson's another play that I do like as well at that price point. He should be using the passing game quite a bit like he was last week. We do have Adrian Peterson back again. He's also not going to be a bad value play at the running back spot. But let's get it on to receivers here. All right, so getting into receivers, I'm not going to touch on the receivers that you should be stacking your quarterbacks with. That's kind of obvious, and if you want that information, you can head over to the Patreon page, get that membership. But Keenan Allen's going to be a play that I like a lot. He should be getting a ton of targets again this week like he did last week. It's going to be an easier matchup again this week. The only worry here is that with Mike Williams and with Hunter Henry out, that takes away some of the passing targets, so maybe the defense will be able to focus on Keenan Allen a little bit more. But once again, Philip Rivers likes to force feed targets in, so I do like Keenan Allen as a safe, easy cash play. And then once again, Juju Smith-Schuster here. So the Patriots were obviously trying to slow down Juju, and they did. He didn't have the best week, but it wasn't too bad. You got away with the play of Juju Smith-Schuster last week, and I think he's only going to do better this week going against the Seattle Seahawks, who just got torched by John Ross, okay? Juju Smith-Schuster's a much better receiver than John Ross, okay? Juju should have a really solid week this week. He could even go for around 30 DK points. I'm not projecting that. Projecting him to score around 18 DK points. All right, going to go a little bit lower here. There's really only one other receiver here that's obvious. That's going to be Tyrell Williams, and that's because he didn't get that price bump because he played on Monday night. But once again, going against the Chiefs there, I just think that Oakland's going to be down quite a bit, so they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. So obviously Tyrell Williams is going to get used quite a bit. So at that price point, given his production last week, and given how much I think that the Raiders are going to have to throw, I really like Tyrell Williams as a play. Now I do want to mention some other value plays here. One specific one is going to be Terry McLaurin, the guy that we told you guys the whole preseason that he was going to be the receiver to own for Washington, that you should be owning him in your fantasy football season-long leagues. He had a really good week one. They played him in a decent amount of lineups, only around like 4%, which was about 4% more than in the rest of the field last week, so slightly benefited from that. But let's get into the tight end plays here. All right, so the tight ends this week, I think it's going to be easy again. Evan Ingram still not priced up too much. You can definitely get away with this play. We know without OBJ, he's just kind of the go-to target in the passing game, especially now with Sterling Shepard confirmed out. Should be a couple more targets Ingram's way. Then we also have Cody Lattimore, who would be the receiver number one, is also questionable as well. So maybe someone like Benny Fowler gets a little bit of interest on the receiver side, but Evan Ingram there at that price point, I think is a lock to hit value. I should mention, the Oakland Raiders, they didn't really get challenged via the tight end last week, so I think Travis Kelce will probably be a little bit lower owned than he should be. With Tyreek Hill out as well, I think Travis Kelce could really go off in that spot, and he'd be a low-owned GPP play. The cash play here is obviously going to be Darren Waller here, who also did not really receive a price bump because of the Monday night game. I already explained the reasons why I like this play. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot, and we like Darren Waller on the showdown slate. Also have him in a couple of our season-long leagues. Not a bad play there at tight end at that price point. TJ Hawkinson, I was really surprised that he didn't get a big price bump. I think he'll be a really popular play. People will be chasing the production here, and I don't really want to because I think the Chargers are a much better defense. So I don't love that play. I do want to mention Tyler Eifert here, going to be a low-owned GPP play. Pretty much whenever he was playing, they were on passing down, so he got used quite a bit in the passing game. All it takes is for him to score a touchdown, and he'll hit value there for you. All right, lastly, we're going to go over the defense pretty quickly here. There's a decent amount of good ones out there. Obviously, the Patriots seem pretty safe. They should get a couple turnovers. They should get a couple of sacks. Pretty safe play there. You could play the Bears D if you want to as well. I do like the Bills here. I already mentioned that a lot of the New York Giants players starting on the offense are a little bit banged up. So the Bills, we already know they're a solid defense. They should be a lock to at least get 8 DK points. And then the Houston Texans going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who obviously lost Nick Foles. They should be a safe play to at least hit value there. I really don't mind that play. I also like the Cincinnati Bengals, who did a pretty good job defensively against the Seattle Seahawks. They're going against the 49ers, who didn't look the best on offense last week. So I really don't mind the Bengals at that price point. That's kind of going to be your lower price defense that you guys can get away with this week. All right, that's all I have for you guys this week. If you guys want that NFL DFS membership, it's $10 a month. We also have a combo package going now where it's the PGA membership and the NFL membership, $14 a month. So if you guys want that, feel free to check that out. The link to that is going to be in the description below. If not, just please give me a like and subscribe. And as always, let's keep cashing. Thanks, guys.